down there.
And then, yep, there you go. So it says you're live. Just wait a minute. There you go. Talk.
Check 1, 2. Check, check. Hey, this is Payton Thomas Watch speaking. Hello?
There you go.
Okay.
Have fun, buddy.
Let's start. Okay. All right. Let's go. Hi, my name is Payton Thomas Watch, and today I'm going to be showing you how to program in Python with basic skills on how to use it, and we're going to be taking a look at something called the Circuit Playground Express. It's basically a little mini computer, but we'll touch on that later. For now, we're going to focus on Python. First, I'd like to say Python is a very simple programming app. It's made so that you can learn JavaScript, and it's basically a simpler version. We'll also be using this book called Automate the Boring Stuff with Python, where I've learned most of my knowledge of how to program in Python. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get to it. To start off, let's launch idle. That's the website we'll be using to program Python in. It's basically Python. That's what these little symbols are. As you can see right here, these little symbols down here, that's the idle or program location. And yeah, so let's launch it, or just open up the app. Now we've opened it up, and this is our Python shell. So this is basically where you can type things up like simple math. Let's say 2 plus 2, return. I would also like to say, when it comes to math, plus and minus are both the same, but multiplication and division are both different. So when we want to multiply, it's not x. That's not how we multiply it. We use this sign. So it's just the different one in Python. And then division is this. So, and then remainder is this. What's strange is I still haven't figured out how to do it where it will show me what where it'll show me what the divided answer plus remainder. So when we do this, if we say let's say 5 divided by 2, or remainder, it'll give us 1. So divided in half, it'll be 4 with an extra. If we divide numbers like 5 divided by 5 with that percentage sign, we get 0 because there's no remainder when dividing. But if we do 5/5, we'll get 1.0, or just the answer is 1. There's 5. How many numbers in 5 is 5? There's 5 ones and a 5, and so it equals 1. Yeah. Yeah, so I think we'll start off by making a simple program. But this is not where we're going to do it. So this is the shell is what it's called. We're going to be programming something called, it's basically a project, but it doesn't look like a shell. So let me demonstrate. First, we're going to go into File, and then we're going to click on New File. Or if you're using a keyboard here, just hit Command N, and that should bring you up with a new thing. Now, I don't want this full, so I'm going to adjust this so we can still see other things. Now, we're gonna have our program print. I don't know. But first, I would like to say, so whenever we're making a new project, so right here, this sign, as you can see, there's things like these little signs like the greater than, less than, I can't remember, I think it's the less than sign. But we don't do this because it's just, no. But when we do it in here, we just type out what we wanted to do. And I would like to first demonstrate the simplest function I know. This is known as the print function. So print. This means it's, you know what? I'm going to show you something else. First, no. Okay. Now, we go back to our shell. Don't save that project if you don't need to. Just quit it. Now, here, I'm going to show you something called a variable. It's basically a box with a piece of paper that has something written on it inside of it. So, let's say spam equals 42. So, first I would like to say here, the equal sign, whenever we're doing like greater than, less than, or equal to, the equal to sign is 2 equals, not just equals. Because whenever we do equals, that tells the computer we are assigning something like spam to, we're creating a box that contains something, that contains a piece of paper with something written on it. So basically what we have here is our box is labeled spam, and it contains the paper, a piece of paper with the numbers 42, 4 and 2 written on it. That's basically what that variable is. And now if we return, now I'd like to say, if we type in spam and then hit return, that basically means we're calling spam, and it's going to say, okay, whatever's in here, so whatever's written on the paper inside of it, that's what it's going to say. So it's going to say spam. Okay, 42 is what's in it. So that's basically how that works. Now, I'd like to say another thing. So if you write spam equals spam plus spam, it's going to add us something. So return, and then we type spam. Now guess what? I bet you can imagine. Basically, it's going to take spam, and then, so this means spam plus spam. It means 42 plus 42. So, I don't know if that makes sense. It's basically taking whatever's inside of these boxes, inside of the box labeled spam, and it's taking it and adding this spam to it. So, taking 42 and adding 42 to it. So now if we type spam in, return, it's going to equal 84. That is actually very cool. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about something called the Circuit Plugin Express. That was it for today with Python. So now we're just going to X out of here. So exit that. And now I'd like to demonstrate something called a Circuit Plugin Express. It's basically like a little mini computer. So it's got a light sensor, a temperature sensor, a speaker, or a microphone, and then a speaker right here. It's got a radio transmitter. So this is the TX and this is the RX. This means transmit, and this is the RX. It's infrared, so it means it's going to send little pulses of red light. It doesn't work the best from distances, even of a foot, but it's kind of cool that you can control other little things like a TV or just another Circuit Plugin Express. So there's also 2 buttons. There's a reset button and there's a switch, and then there's these cool neopixels. There's 10 total neopixels, neopixels. And then there's also an accelerometer. Basically, an accelerometer is like a little, it's like, I don't know how it works, but it's like it measures the X, Y, and Z points of access. So there's, as you can see, there's a Z. I know you can't see it very well, but if you got one of these, it has a Z axis, Y, and an X. X is right and left, so right, left. Y is forward, backward, and Z is up and down. So, and as you can guess, this can do some pretty cool things. You can turn it into what I've got it right now. So, a program where when it's shaken, plays a siren sound and shows lights red and blue, like a police car. Yeah. And also, I forgot to mention, these little pins are very cool. So you can control a servo or a motor with it. You can make it so you can just tap it like a button. It basically, when you tap it like a button, I didn't understand it at first. I was like, how does the pin measure that? Basically, it has a little, like, it's like a magnetic field. And when it senses your finger, it's like an electrical magnetical field. And when your finger or the body has a small electrical or magnetic field, like gravity, basically. So, like Earth, it's got a big amount of gravity. The bigger the object, I would like to say, the bigger the object, the more amount of gravity, or just the bigger amount of mass. That's how Earth is. That's why it keeps us down so hard. When our hands and body, we don't have even enough to levitate the smallest, lightest weight things. Really, we can attract things though with static electricity. If we like rub our hair or something, we can like attract balloons and stuff. But that's not really. It's okay. But basically, it just uses the magnetic or electrical magnetical field of your body to measure if you're being touched. So it's got like a small electrical field, and when it senses your finger's small electrical field, in its way, it says, oh, so. To start off, we're going to go onto our computers, and then we're going to go right into Safari, and we're going to go to MakeCode. MakeCode.adafruit.com. Adafruit is the brand of where the Circuit Playground Express comes from. Adafruit Circuit Playground Express. It's really cool. And it's basically, it's a little drag and drop place. So it's got a whole line of tutorials that you can do. So, using all of these cool sensors on it, you could do all sorts of cool things. I find these tutorials the most interesting right here. So, and these are okay. There's a couple that are cool. And then these are where it like tells you what each thing is, so you can learn about a speaker or a light sensor or an accelerometer or the microphone, or just any of those things. And it's got some other tutorials from somebody who made something called MakeCode in the kitchen. And then there's somebody named Michaela. So, yeah. I think we'll get started off with a new project. So, we type on new project, and let's see here. Let's start off where we make it on a simple let's think here. How would we do it? On loud sound. That sounds like a thing. Okay, so you take an on loud sound. You'll find that in your input section of your like little browser of different tools. You've got lights. You can control lights. These are special things for stuff that I don't happen to have. I only happen to have another Circuit Playground Express, as you'd think. These are where you can do stuff like when a button is pressed or when the temperature reaches a certain temperature. This is sound, so like you can put like or like ba-ding, or just cool stuff. Network. This is where you can tell it to control other things. So can like control other ones. So like if I wanted it to say, if I shook my one or pressed the button A on the one I've got in my hands, and I wanted and then make it so that when another one receives whatever it sends, then it does like let's say it plays a bunch of lights or something cool. So this is on infrared received. So that means if it gets a signal that something's been sent to it, and this is when it sends a number. So this is loops. So this means is like repeat 4 times. That's like a loop. Logic is pretty cool. So this is called an if then else statement. These are my favorite. So I use these a lot like for like, let's say if you wanted to say like, if the temperature is this cold or this hot, then show lights this color. If it's not this temperature, then stay lights green. So let's say if you wanted it to show us what if we wanted it to tell us the temperature was hot or cold, we could say like, so if the temperature is hot, or if this is above this temperature, so let's say if the temperature is above 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 70 degrees Fahrenheit, or yes, 80, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever we wanted to, then if it equals this, then we could say like, make the lights show up red. If we wanted it to, and then if we wanted it to say if it's colder than 80 degrees or 70 degrees, whatever you pick, then you could make it show the lights blue. So it's actually very awesome. Or you could also make it to where if the temperature is exactly equaling either this or this, so if it equals the temperature like 60 or 70 or 60 or 75, any number of those, like in between like the Goldilocks temperature, then you could have it where it like shows the lights green, so it's like perfect. And so that's the if then else statement. There's variables, as we talked about in Python. Those are awesome. I still haven't really used them yet in here, but in network, this is a variable right here, num. In math, this is where it does math for us, like simple math. So like plus or 0 or minus or times or plus, all the cool stuff. Or divided by, actually, I meant. Or just basic numbers. And in advanced, you can do stuff like control the pins, so tell it to like pull some energy out. Or you could say more stuff like spy. I don't understand it yet. There's functions. You can like make something of your own, like where it like does something. Arrays. I don't know what this is yet. It sounds pretty cool though. It's one of those variables though. You can see it's colored. Text. Right here is where you can like read things and stuff. And then and console, I don't understand that. Control is like you can like reset the thing or make it panic or something. And then the extensions, you can like make it to where it'll like servo. Or if you wanted to get even more specific, so servos show up here. And then you can do more extensions. So here's one of the cool things, mouse. I used this before to make something very cool. I used it on a different computer though. Yeah, it was totally different. But those are a lot of the cool things you can do with this. So now, as we were in our program, on loud sound. So let's say on loud sound, show, on loud sound, show lights. Let's see here. Show ring, or set all pixels to, or show ring red. So basically that means if the sound is loud, it'll go ding. And then if we want the lights to shut off, we want the lights to shut off. Otherwise they'll just stay on forever and they'll never do the cool stuff we want it. So then it clears. So that's basically it though. So, and then I'm going to show you how to plug your Circuit Plug-in Express into your computer. So, how to connect it. We take our Circuit Plug-in Express, so make sure it's plugged into your computer. Now, number one, this, so if we go to Finder, again, sorry about that, Finder, so if you want it to connect instantly, so mine will connect without having to do everything. But if yours is not connecting right when you plug it into your computer and you see it in Finder, then you should just be able to press the reset button once, or maybe double tap it twice, or just push the reset button, and it should connect to your computer. It will show up as C Play Boot, which is the name of it, and then it's got these special files, which we wouldn't want to get rid of. So, yeah. But we don't want to lose these files because it's basically like power restarts and stuff. So, gotta keep those safe, as you can think. So, and then there's a whole row of projects you can make. Of course, I've got a whole bunch right here. Ones that I've made myself and just random ones. So, yeah. It's basically how you connect it. And, yeah. So, well, I guess that was it for me today, lads. So, I guess we'll, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And, we will talk more, hopefully tomorrow or later or soon, you know, whatever you want to call it that. And also, comment down below, what would you want me to write a code to do? I only know simple things like how to make it, like, do stuff. I've written a couple codes. I've used this book, Automate the Boring Stuff with Python, to write some codes like Magic 8 Ball. It actually has you write codes. I would definitely recommend getting this book because it is very important and it actually helps a lot. And I would also recommend that when you are trying to like find good programs on YouTube, let's say, so if we go into our computer here, go here, if we search up youtube.com, whenever you're searching for how to do like a whenever you're learning how to do whenever you want to learn how to do something like program more advanced, like make it sense temperature or like sense the color of the thing in front of the lights when you press a button with that little light sensor, and then turn on the lights to that color, I would definitely recommend searching here. It's called Core Electronics. So electronics. So they're a very cool channel. They've got all sorts of things. Now, they do a whole bunch of different stuff, like with Arduinos and stuff. And they're a very cool channel. But I would definitely recommend, whenever you're searching for something, just search circuit, or, yes, circuit playground return. And here's what should come up. So a whole bunch of different stuff. They program with Python, Circuit Python to use it, and they use MakeCode. So that's what I know of them. They do all sorts of cool stuff, and like infrared, so stuff with other circuit plug-in expresses. So yeah. Okay. And by the way, whenever you click on one of the videos here, the person who should be talking is Steven from Core Electronics. Whenever you, especially when it says make code, so like this make code thermometer. But yeah, so that's it for today, guys. We're gonna quit that and do all that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed learning today, and I hope you enjoyed getting to program with Python, do some simple stuff. I will be back hopefully tomorrow or as soon as I can be, and I will see you next time. So thanks for watching. Bye.